there was another captain. He was kind of a gullible fellow, you know, and he believed a lot of things people told him and that there'd be right or wrong. But he had charters out deep sea fishing for mackerel and cod, and there's a bunch of tuna that jumped through the school of mackerel, and there was Americans happened to be in the charter that day. They get all excited. They were tuna, you know. Wesley said, this is the old fellow that was taking them out. They were horse mackerel, he says. And he says, no, they're tuna, he says. And then he explained to him that there is people that would be foolish enough to pay to go out and catch them, you know, and this and that. And so he believed it, and he corresponded back and forth, and then he got after tourism. And they came up with some money to get a boat with some experience and a captain with some experience and come up and try fishing for tuna. And that was in '67, I believe it was, '68. And they did catch one and lost 3 or 4. So that's how it started. And but 2 years later, I started myself charter, and that's what, like 2 years after they discovered that, you know, people would pay to catch them on rod and reel.
When I was a kid, I used to go out with my father lobster fishing and tuna fishing, and I always preferred the tuna fishing. The lobster fishing just seemed like a lot of work, which it is, but it was still enjoyable to its point. I went out at such a young age. I think I had my own blanket. I know I wasn't 14 with my own blanket. It was quite a bit younger than that. And we'd go out and be trolling mackerel and doing different things. And that evolved from the daisy chain to trolling plastic squid, to chumming, to using a kite. And I've seen all these different things and different ways of catching tuna. And the lure of catching a huge fish is not something for me that was one and done. Every time the pole bends over and the line screams off that reel, it's just another rush. I mean, the bluefin is such a majestic animal that when you get them beside the boat and you just see him trash the water, and you get him swimming again and you release him and he takes off and no problem. It's a really nice feeling. It's a real good fishery. And it's something that a lot of my uncles did and my cousins now do it, so I guess you could say it's a bit of a family affair.
Yeah, I was actually the first Bruce that's in the harbour, though there's a number of us there. And then my older brother started next, and then my 2 younger brothers, they got licensed and they fish mostly competitive, but that's how it started as far as the Bruces was. And of course we all had kids, and they get into it, and it kind of multiplied from there, same as myself and then my son. So.
So we're here in PEI, and we're fishing with Scott Bruce Tuna Charters. Today's our first morning, so we're ready to go out, and the bite's been pretty good. The herring have moved in, and we came up here to test out some Yo-Zuri fluoro and see what it can do against the honestly the biggest fish in the world. You know, big Atlantic bluefins and 600 to 1,000 pounds. So let's see what we can do. Looking forward to it.
Put the drag back up. Got it. I got it back. That's what we have. Grab the line, Dark. I'm gonna try and swim him this time. Okay.
where PEI is located, the St. Lawrence empties into the Gulf here. Our waters are told us to be the warmest waters north of the Carolinas. The fish move up. Some originate from the Gulf of Mexico. Others are originating actually from the Mediterranean. What the percentage is, scientists varies on its answer for that. They started off by saying probably none to 5%, and now they keep going up and up on what they think it'll be. There's constant research being done on that to genetic testing and other ways to find out what the percentage is. But the fish come here because the Gulf is just a big feedlot, and they literally circle the Gulf chasing herring, chasing squid, chasing mackerel, other species as well. It's a big feedlot, and they're putting on their weight. When they come here in the summer, they're lean and they're mean. They put on a really big fight, unlike anything you'd really see. And then as the season goes on, they get fatter, they get heavier, and that's when, of course, the commercial people will be taking them in because they're prized for their fatty meat at that time. We're talking a lot of the fish will be between 500 and 1,300 pounds, and it's not uncommon to be 900,000 pounds, 850, 700. Like those fish will be being landed at the same time as we're doing the catch and release. So we can measure the fish when we have them beside the boat. We get a good look at them. We can see his girth. We can guess the weight of the fish. But at the same time, we're releasing fish. There are fish being landed. So we know how much the average weight is being, and it's quite heavy. Where we're located in North Lake is, I think, an essential thing that the people who have come here have found out, because we can be fishing at a North Lake harbor and getting really good fishing, and if the fishing drops off there for one reason or another, maybe it's due to weather, we can move around to Surrey Harbor. It's a short steam for us around. We can leave from Surrey Harbor and we can fish other areas such as Fisherman's Bank, which of course is also known for very large fish. So fishing where we are is very versatile in that it gives us many options.
So PEI is one of those trips that has to be a bucket list trip for any serious saltwater angler. If you really want to prove yourself to yourself, really, and I think that's really what it's about. It's not proving to other people, but it's really proving to yourself that you can handle, really what comes down to it is, the biggest and the baddest saltwater fish in the ocean, and that's the bluefin tuna. From all the way from the days of Zane Grey, it's been one of those iconic fish that, you have to check off of your list if you really are a true saltwater angler that wants to prove that, you can handle anything that there is. And that's kind of what this trip was for me. I'm gonna be honest, before I came here, I had my doubts, and when you go into a new setting and something that's not, really in your wheelhouse, because, big game fishing, marlin fishing, tuna fishing is not really, what I do on a day-to-day basis, obviously, but I can tell you that coming up here was an incredible experience. I was able to land one fish over 900 pounds, and, for me, I'll never forget that experience. I can tell you that if you are thinking about coming up here, look up Scott Bruce Charters. We fished with captains, all over the country and around the world, and he's one of the best guys that we've ever fished with. He makes you feel very comfortable from the minute that you get on the boat, whether you're a novice angler or someone who has multiple world records, under their belt. He's gonna cater specifically to you. They're a first-class operation. Their family is synonymous with PEI tuna fishing. They've been doing it for over 60 years. They know where the fish are. They know how to catch the fish. They know how to make you feel comfortable. All their equipment is, first rate, and the boat's incredible. The food, even on the boat's incredible. If you're looking to stay somewhere, they can help you with that. If you're looking for, making dinner reservations or anything that has to do with this trip or PEI, they handle everything. You should definitely look them up. You should definitely take the time. Don't be scared. This is an opportunity you only get once in a lifetime. Make it count. Call Scott Bruce Charters.